this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
Stuff You Should Know is brought to you by Grainger. Grainger knows that if you're an HVAC technician and a call comes in, you need a partner that helps you find the right product, fast and hassle-free. And you know that when the first problem of the day is a clanking blower motor, there's no need to break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product details, you can be confident that soon you'll have everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Work can be a little weird. Cringy training seminars, coworkers who won't stop talking about their plant, forgetting the mute button at an inopportune moment. We have to deal with a lot on any given workday. Sometimes it can feel hard to thrive and move forward in your career. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in. LinkedIn helps you get ideas and insights from experts in your field, connect with people professionally, grow your network, and access tools designed to help you find the right fit for your next role. Whether you're just getting started, figuring out your next move, or looking to accelerate your career, LinkedIn is built to support you at every stage, because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark with Charles W. Chuck Bryant, Jerry Rowland.
Just a couple of nomads on the road.
Yeah.
With our trinkets and our accordion.
Gypsies, tramps and thieves. You like my share?
Yeah.
I learned it from Jack from
Will and Grace?
Will and Grace.
Oh, yeah? Was that his share?
Well, there was this one really classic scene where he meets Cher in a restaurant, but he thinks it's like a Cher drag queen impersonator.
Oh, right.
So he calls her like Mr. Sister and like starts giving her pointers on how to do a good Cher.
Yeah, he always does the hair flip.
Right.
Hair flip. I love that show.
It's a good show. It holds up. It's in reruns now.
Oh, yeah?
It's just as good, yeah. But I had that horrible Cher song in my head, like while I was studying, and it just wouldn't go away. So I listened to it, and now I'm like, no, it just got worse.
Is there a modern PC version that's Roma, Tramps and Thieves?
No, but in my head, you can also say Gypsies, Franks, and Beans, and it's like kind of neutral. It's better than Tramps and Thieves.
Yeah, good point. But the term gypsy
Wait, is that a good point?
It's a terrible point.
Oh, okay. Well, don't patronize me.
Gypsies, though, the word itself, we're going to try not to use because it's a pejorative term.
It is. And at the very least, it's now considered an ethnic slur.
Yeah.
And it's in part because it's associated with the concept of being gypped. Like if somebody doesn't give you a fair deal or something like that,
never
or
heard of that.
Rips you off or something like that, you've been gypped.
Huh.
It's short for gypsied. You've dealt with somebody who's a gypsy.
That came from gypsy.
You. Right.
Not the other way around.
Right.
Because we believe it came from Egypt.
Right. It was
Correct.
a misapplication.
Yeah.
Misunderstanding in the Greek Isles.
By Josh Clark. Romance novel.
Right. All right, so let's get into this. We're not going to say gypsies like you said. Actually, that's not entirely true. We're probably going to forget once in a while because we were both raised on Shel Silverstein.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yumi reminded me of this one. The Gypsies Are Coming.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to find the original version of The Gypsies Are Coming, which is a poem of Shel Silverstein's in Where the Sidewalk Ends, because before his death, and I believe that sometime in the 90s or early 2000s,
Doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but yeah, I remember.
he changed it from The Gypsies Are Coming to The Googies or The Googies
Oh, that's nice.
because he felt that it was mean toward gypsies. And it kind of is, because it's about child stealing gypsies, which is a rumor
Yeah.
that's been attached to gypsies forever.
Yeah,
They
there's
steal children and use them as props in begging
Sure.
and pickpocket schemes.
Yeah, there are a lot of, I guess, rumors about the culture, and a lot of them are founded, and a lot of them are unfounded.
Yeah. None of it's just like black and white one way or the other. The
Yeah.
gypsies aren't just some completely kicked around, put upon ethnic group. And at the same time, they're not just a bunch of like thieving, violin playing, marauders.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, anyway, to get to the point, we'll say Roma as much as we can.
Yeah, Roma or Romani.
And we'll even explain why we call them Roma shortly.
Sounds good. Well, we just missed International Roma Day was on April 8th.
Man.
And that's been around since 1990. And John Kerry, Secretary of State Kerry, came out and had some nice words to say about, celebrating the rich Romani culture and give them a break.
Yeah.
Sort of, But I didn't know there was a International Roma Day, so I don't know if it's sticking in, like, the mass public.
Well, it takes a little time to gain traction.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has been since the 70s. The 70s were like a big era of ethnic and minority groups, like saying, "Hey, we're here, and like we're standing up for our rights, and you can't kick us around anymore."
Right. Good for them.
We're owning our identity, and the Roma did it too. But yeah, it's been a little while.
These days, there are around 12 million Roma. And when we say scattered, they are scattered, and that's what they're known for, is not dropping down permanent roots and moving along. And one reason is because they've often been forced through the centuries to move along up until today.
Yeah, there's a basically the Roma sociologist, the authority on Romani culture and people.
Dr. Romani?
Dr. Finesca,
okay.
Isabella Finesca.
Mm-hmm.
She basically points out, like, tell me another group that just willfully picks up stakes and leaves all the time because they just feel like it at their whim. She's like, that doesn't exist. They move mostly because they've been forced to time and time again.
Yeah, I think humans desire to root down. That's sort of what we've based our success on is people.
Yes.
Is staying in one place and fortifying and,
sedentariness.
I don't know about sedentary, but like
getting couch locked.
Yeah, exactly. That's your new favorite term?
Yeah. So, they are kind of spread all over the EU. They're scattered to the wind, and they do move quite frequently. But it's like you said, it's not necessarily because they're nomadic. They are a nomadic people, but not necessarily because they want to be. But the problem is wherever they go, virtually everywhere they go in the European Union, they are kind of forced out eventually at some point.
Yeah, I sent you that article today, and it is literally in today's news how Paris, there was a leaked note from chief of police in Paris that said, on the orders of his superiors, police are to day and night locate Roma families living in the street and systematically evict them.
Yeah.
Even though that is supposedly illegal in France. And it's a chic area of Paris, and they don't want people in poverty, and a lot of the Romani people are still living in poverty.
Pretty much all of them are.
I'm not saying that makes it right.
All of the Romani, except for the Gypsy Kings, the band, are living in poverty pretty much.
The Gypsy Kings?
They are actual gypsies. I looked it up.
Are they really?
Yes, they are.
I thought they were
gypsies.
From Mexico.
No, I thought so too, man. They're from Andalusia, Spain.
Wow.
And their parents were all Romani that were basically kicked out of Spain by Franco.
Huh.
And so they're like legitimate Roma people, the band. Isn't that cool?
And the only ones with any money?
Right, pretty much. And I'm like, I wonder what they do. Like, do they still have that Roma thing to them, or are they just like, see you guys later?
No, I think
we're rich.
I think from what I've read, they, the Roma people are embrace their heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not if you're
it
in
seems
Paris.
like it. I mean, to almost to a detrimental degree.
Well, last September, Manuel Valls, the interior minister at the time in France, declared that Roma gypsies were incompatible with the French way of life and should return home.
Yeah, Europe's really going crazy lately. Like, the Dutch are forcing all of their immigrants to learn Dutch or get out, basically.
Did they realize how hard Dutch is?
Yeah. Maybe that's the point,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and apparently there was like a huge push in the Sun newspaper in Britain to get rid of gypsy beggars from the street. And the Roma in particular have kind of been the butt of all this stuff. It's not just France. I saw an article where in Rome, two Roma camps in Rome were raided. All of the people were dragged out, taken to the airport, put on a plane to Bosnia.
Wow.
and a couple of them were underage kids whose parents weren't in the group at the time. So imagine if you come home from a day of trading cars.
Yeah.
And your kid is in Bosnia because the cops just rounded him up because they didn't want you to live on the street there any longer.
Trading cars?
Yeah, that's what they're into, big time.
They still trade horses, too.
Yeah, but
old school among them.
They also trade cars, too. They'll go to, like, Germany and buy a car for cheap and then take it to Romania and sell it for a little bit of premium, and they make some money that way.
That's called Craigslist, buddy.
Kind of. Romani Craigslist.
Good for them.
So the point is, wherever they go in the EU, they end up getting the bum's rush, basically.
Yeah, I mean, they call it the gypsy problem, still to this day in the European Union, so.
And the one place that they can kind of call home is Romania.
Yeah, and I think Transylvania, too, has a pretty robust, fairly settled population.
You want to
understand?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
And they were led there, actually, by a purchase by a guy named Vlad Dracul in the 15th century.
I think I've heard of that guy.
Yeah. So let's talk about how the Roma ended up in their adopted homeland of Romania. Where'd they come from originally? Because apparently even they aren't certain.
Well, no, that's the one thing they're certain about, apparently, is where they come from. But that's about it, because there's a high illiteracy rate, so there's not a lot of record keeping, not a lot of genealogy throughout the years. So a lot of it's just kind of lost to history. But I think they did settle on the fact that they came from India, Josh.
Okay.
Which you knew.
Right.
You're being coy.
That is true. And it took a very long time. So the Roma say, we're from India.
Yes.
They know that now. No one knew whether that was correct or not. They were called gypsies because people thought they were from Egypt. They were in Romania, but they crossed the Balkans. It was really just very confusing. They were just basically this nomadic group of dark-skinned people who spoke their own language and didn't practice the prevailing religions, so everybody just hated them. Well, finally, in the 18th century, a Hungarian scholar, theologian, I believe, decided he wanted to kind of dig into Romani language and figure out what the deal was with it. And he found, quite surprisingly, that a lot of it contained Sanskrit.
Yeah, so that is going to put you in northern India. And then they did some genetic testing to kind of get that stuff confirmed, and basically came up with the fact that they migrated out of India about 700 AD, but the dates get a little hazy for sure.
Well, some people think that it's 700 AD. That's as far back as I think anyone's willing to go. But then I think a lot of historians agree that they're actually descended from a specific group who were ejected from northern India because of raids from Persia around 1000 to 1027 AD.
Now, was that with the spread of Islam?
Yeah, Muhammad of Ghazni.
Yeah, he wanted to spread Islam around, and so he brought in, the Hindus organized a group of people to fight that, obviously, to fight the Muslims. And they had an army called the Rajputs.
I think that's as good as any.
Or is the J silent? R-A-J-P-U-T?
No, it's like Maharaja.
Okay, Rajputs.
So Rajputs, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah.
And they defeated the army. They were defeated and then taken captive. And then another group from Persia came along, the Seljuks, and they conquered them and then took the Rajputs out of northern India and into what is now Turkey.
Right, and they basically...
that was the diaspora started then, supposedly.
Yeah, that was where they think the Romani originally came from. They were displaced Indians fighting to protect their homeland.
Yeah.
And they basically, when they were ejected from northern India by Muhammad of Ghazni and his people, they became slaves. And then when Muhammad of Ghazni was defeated by the Seljuks, they became slaves for the Seljuks in Turkey.
Pretty much put upon from the get-go.
Right. So they were slaves, servant class, laborers, for many centuries, and they finally made it out, I guess, once the Ottomans once the Christians, I guess, went in during the Crusades and defeated the Turks.
Okay.
And Istanbul was converted from Constantinople. The Rajputs who were by now the Roma,
Yeah.
were moved from Turkey across the Balkans into present-day Transylvania, Wallachia, and a large number of them were purchased by Vlad Dracul, also known as Vlad Tepes or Vlad the Impaler, or Count Dracula. He owned some of the first Romani people.
Do you know how many?
Across, I think like 500 or 5,000, something like that.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And they suffered tremendously. Anyone who worked for Vlad suffered tremendously. We'll have to do an episode on him.
He hated dust on the shelves.
He did. Man, he'd fly into a rage.
It's interesting, though, to see their religion these days, the Roma. Like, it's kind of all over the map. There are some Christians.
Yeah.
There are some Muslims, right? And some Hindu.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think there's not like a single religion for an ethnic group. Well, I guess it's not the weirdest thing.
Well, no, but I mean, I think what happened was there was a group of them, and then the group became further and further fragmented.
Yeah.
And so you can take all of the language and the religious beliefs and all of this stuff that is Romani culture, and you're probably going to find some similar elements that you can all trace back to about 1400 AD when they crossed over into the Balkans.
Yeah.
And then started to spread from there.
Yeah, but I think that makes a lot of sense, though, because apparently even the tribes today speak different versions of the same language. So it's they don't have like a codified language, even though they're pushing for that.
Right, they are.
I think that might help.
Yeah. So they're in Romania, right? What's now present-day Romania.
Yeah.
And for the next 400 years, they are slaves in Romania until Romania abolishes slavery.
Yeah.
And even now, that's still basically their home base. I mean, Romania is like, okay, we'll take care of you guys. Sorry about the last 4 centuries.
Right.
And no one else in the EU will, but Romania does provide for their Romani population more than any other country there.
But they were subjugated there too, weren't they? Or at least discriminated against.
Yeah, they were slaves for 400 years there.
Well, I mean, after that, though, weren't they, like, they had a hard time, they weren't served in stores and...
Oh, yes, it still goes on today in Romania.
Oh, okay, I thought they were a little, like, more accepting.
No, I think that's like kind of the, I think that's, that doesn't mean that Romania is just like, Roma loving.
Right.
They treat them slightly less badly than the rest of Europe.
Slight Roma tolerant.
Right.
Okay, let's settle on that. But because of the fact that they weren't allowed service in stores and maybe they had low literacy and they couldn't get jobs, no one wants to hire them, it was sort of this cyclical thing where they had to resort to thievery and deception, and it's just how do you build yourself up as a people when you can't work? You still need to eat, so how do you eat? You maybe steal something. Mm-hmm. And so it's just sort of the constant cycle that to this day they haven't been able to break out of.
No.
You know?
Yeah, it is kind of a self-perpetuating thing. Like they have a bad reputation in part because they do behave badly, and they behave badly in part because they have a bad reputation so they can't get a leg up. Like
thousands of years. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think one of probably the hallmarks of Romani culture is it just won't assimilate.
Yeah.
Like they just don't assimilate into whatever culture they're in. They're visitors, they're guests.
Yeah.
They're or parasites or leeches depending on, where you live and how you feel about them. But they are not interested in becoming part of your culture where you live.
Yeah, they seem pretty private and like only concerned about their tribe.
Right. And the thing is, the problem with that is that tends to make the majority of a culture very nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why aren't you like eating our Liberty cabbage and freedom fries? Like, what's your problem?
Right.
Well,
I bet they love cabbage.
Well, like, why don't you want to like work 9 to 5 and that kind of stuff. So when any group won't assimilate and exist on the fringes, seemingly, by their own accord, that definitely raises a lot of suspicion in the majority culture.
Yeah, unless you live in Montana.
Yeah, it's true. So maybe they play well there. They fit right in.
I have friends in Montana. They know I'm kidding.
Okay.
So right after this message break, we're going to talk about some of the atrocities they suffered during World War II.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of noise in the business world today, and leaders like you need clear insights from professionals you can trust. That's why Truist Securities created Navigating Beyond the Expected, a podcast built for decision makers who want clarity in a changing market.
That's right. Every month, you'll get expert perspectives from corporate and investment bankers who are helping clients tackle important challenges. You can hear how leaders across industries are adapting to new technologies, making smarter decisions, and strengthening their ability to grow and secure critical capital.
It's practical advice that cuts through complexity for leaders who need to know what's coming next. Subscribe at truist.com/beyond podcast. That's TRUIST.com/beyond podcast.
Copyright Truist Securities Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
All right. It's World War II.
Yeah.
The Nazis are doing their thing, and they are not just persecuting Jewish people. They are persecuting anyone that is a minority that they don't agree with, and the Roma were some of the first ones that they targeted. And by, by percentage or of their total population, maybe even suffered more than the Jewish people.
Yeah.
As far as like half of the Roma people or something were executed.
I think it was 500,000 were in Germany or in the lands that Germany conquered.
Yeah. And they were, there's a documentary apparently out, and I read an article on it, but they didn't even give the name of it. But it's these filmmakers in Toronto, Jewish filmmakers, made a documentary about the Romani Holocaust because it's just not a story you ever hear. But the filmmakers, Tom Rasky and Lynn Bender, like I said, were Jewish Holocaust survivors, children of Holocaust survivors. And the director and a Roma musician actually helped make it. So they are still a musical people, not just the Gypsy Kings.
And we don't know the name of the documentary.
I couldn't find it.
It's a terrible article.
It was terrible.
So yeah, during World War II, the Roma and the Jews were the only two ethnic groups that were targeted because of their ethnicity by the Nazis. And yeah, they suffered tremendously, and they have a word for it. It means the Great Devouring. It's a poremos. Poremos?
Yeah.
It means the Great Devouring.
Yeah, it can also mean rape, apparently, which kind of puts a button on that experience.
Yeah, right.
And I did a little more reading about it, too. Apparently, they really annoyed the SS as well because they would not go quietly. Mm-hmm. Like, they would have them dig their own graves, stand naked in front of them just so they could shoot them and push them in. Mm-hmm. And he said that they wouldn't just stand there and, like, take their death gracefully. They would yell and scream and run around and try and dodge bullets. And I guess it was...
It's pretty sensible.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I guess that's part of the, the survivor in them because they've been booted all around, they got to do what they can.
Right.
So like, this guy's pointing a gun at me. I'm going to try and get out of here.
Right.
Even if I'm naked.
Yeah.
Sad.
And the rest of the majority culture was like, no, you just stand still.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
Unbelievable.
So one of the more shameful but also telling things about the Roma Holocaust was the way it was treated afterward. It was basically unmentioned at the Nuremberg trials.
Yeah.
Which, were to address the Holocaust as a whole, and just kind of ignored like this one whole thing because, well, it was the Roma, apparently. Yeah. And then, one SS officer in history was ever persecuted or prosecuted for crimes against Roma.
Just one
during
guy.
World War II, just one person, even though 500,000 Roma died.
So why, my friend, I don't think we posed the question, why did they think they came from Egypt to begin with?
Oh, yeah. Well, apparently it was just a complete accident.
Oh, yeah?
Well, they came from northern India originally, and a lot of Roma have a dark complexion.
So they
And
look the part, maybe.
a little to an untrained eye.
Sure.
And they ended up settling in the Greek Isles for a little bit, or at some point, some Roma did. And around there, the place where they settled, or the place where they came from, along the Adriatic, had been known as Little Egypt. So the people in Peloponnesia thought, oh, well, they're Egyptians, so they started calling them gypsies.
Clearly, because they live in Little Egypt.
And they have dark complexions.
That's interesting. So what about these days? It's interesting history, but these days they still, like we said, have, a lot of them are still musicians. A lot of them still pick up camp and move. Some of them still trade horses. Mm-hmm. They're known for being metal workers. And
Well, a lot of them have trades that were learned as slaves in Romania that have been passed down and are still practiced today. So, like, for example, some group that were copper workers as slaves in Romania, their ancestors were.
yeah,
The groups today do scrap metal. That's what they deal with. So they know what they're doing with metal. Like, a lot of the trades that a Roma clan does for a living
yeah.
is passed down from their days as slaves in Romania.
Yeah, and the fact that they're still musicians today is definitely one of those, because they found they could make a few bucks by even trying to appear more exotic.
Yeah.
And do performances, and look at us, we're the weird, exotic Roma people, or the gypsies. And
Look at how colorful our clothes are.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm playing my finger tambourine
Right.
while you're getting your pocket picked, perhaps.
Ouch.
No, that's something that happened.
So was it because apparently the media is totally cool with just perpetuating lies and untruths about the Roma, and is not to be trusted any more than they purport the Roma shouldn't be?
What do you mean?
The media reports, like, I read that in that article I read, in The Guardian by Dr. Finesca, the Roma authority.
Right.
She points out that some British paper said that a Roma woman who they named, like, by name, named her son Lucifer, which is apparently wholly untrue. Huh. But this was in, like, the 90s that papers were printing this. So apparently the Roma have always been this group that you can kick around and everybody's cool with, basically.
Right.
With you kicking them around. So media reports of the stuff that they do should be taken with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they're very often conflated.
Yeah, but the point this article makes, this is by Kristen Conger of Stuff Mom Never Told You. She does make the point that a lot of it is reputation, but a lot of it is earned reputation.
Right.
Because, again, they were kind of forced from town to town, and they were poverty-stricken, and so they may have had to pick some pockets here and there to put food in the mouths.
I hear you.
You know?
I'm just saying, don't believe everything you read in the papers.
Yeah.
Sociologically speaking, the Roma constitute what's called a middleman minority.
Yeah.
Which is a group that refuses to assimilate, but still is discriminated against, but still maintains enough communication or contact with the larger culture that they can benefit economically from that. Like, they can still sell you a car.
Oh, gotcha.
You
Or
know?
trade you a car.
Sure.
They're paternalistic, so it's super old school. Like, the women are expected to stay home and work the house, and the men may or may not work at all. Young girls, they still have arranged marriages, even to this day. Mm-hmm. Getting their daughters matched up with another person of the Romani culture is important to them.
And apparently teenagers as well.
Yeah, like as young as 12. It's a little weird.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, because of the illiteracy rate, I think it's especially hard on young women. They don't care very much about educating them.
Right. And then employment is just kind of a side thing you do when you need money.
Right.
For the most part. part of that's just kind of part of Romani culture, but it asks the question, is that part of Romani culture because they haven't been able to get a job, or do they just not work, and that's part of Romani culture?
Right.
Which side of the coin has actually created this situation?
Yeah.
But they apparently were given jobs under communism in Eastern Europe, and went to work in factories and things like that.
Yeah, for a little while.
But then after communism disintegrated, the Roma were fired first, apparently.
They were the first ones out the door.
Yeah. They were like, the boss is no longer the boss. You're fired. I'm firing you.
Yeah. And then, of course, from that rose more complaints of stealing and thievery. And a lot of it, too, isn't just illegal activities, but a lot of begging and panhandling and stuff that apparently in chic districts in Paris is unsightly.
So it sounds like from this description that Romani women they do almost all of the work, especially around the household.
Yeah.
They do.
And the men may or may not even have jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
But they do exist in clans, and these clans do have tribunals to handle disputes.
Sure.
And the men kind of run all that stuff, like the government of the village or group.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas the women are like running the household stuff, but the men are apparently totally, clearly 100% dominant.
Yeah. I think that's true. Unless it's just something we read that's not. Because I read one of the filmmakers for that documentary said, we're told that they aren't even that nomadic anymore. I'm like, but that flies in the face of everything I've read. So.
Well, it's in this article as well. It says like a lot of them want to settle down and are trying to to establish roots in places, but
yeah.
they get kicked out eventually.
I think they fared pretty well here in the States.
Apparently so.
I don't know about I'm not saying they're rising to CEO positions or anything, but I think they haven't been kicked around like they have been in the EU.
Yeah.
At least.
Well, America loves its traveling romanticized thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, the open road,
Oh, yeah, sure.
That kind of thing. So anybody who's on the open road is, romanticized a little bit more here, I think, than in Europe.
I think you're right. This takes a toll, though. All the poverty and the moving around and the lack of education is going to take a toll on any ethnicity, and it's definitely happening with the Romani because they apparently, compared to similar populations in Slovakia, Ireland, Czech Republic, and Bulgaria, die about 6 to 10 years earlier, and infant mortality rates are double and triple of those in surrounding ethnic groups, which is disturbing.
Right. Which you can say, oh, that's right. Well, they're poverty-stricken.
Sure.
They don't eat the most nutritious meals around because they're poverty-stricken.
Yeah.
They don't have easy access to health care. On the other side of the coin, apparently, they also typically shun local medicine.
Yeah.
In favor of their own medicine, which is often homeopathic, apparently.
Right.
And so, for example, tuberculosis is just it's like a fatal disease, even though if you step outside of camp into town, it's not.
Right.
If you just go to that hospital right there.
Yeah.
It's not.
Here's the illiteracy rate. It's 75% of Romani girls can't read.
Yeah, and apparently most Romani kids of either gender don't complete high school. So all of this, the fact that they are poverty-stricken, that they have lower life expectancy, higher infant mortality rates, lower education, higher illiteracy rates.
Yeah.
It's tough to get a leg up.
Yeah.
Especially when the entire world basically looks at you like you are never to be trusted.
Yeah.
So what do you do? I will tell you what you do after this ad break.
There's a lot of noise in the business world today, and leaders like you need clear insights from professionals you can trust. That's why Truist Securities created Navigating Beyond the Expected, a podcast built for decision makers who want clarity in a changing market.
That's right. Every month you'll get expert perspectives from corporate and investment bankers who are helping clients tackle important challenges. You can hear how leaders across industries are adapting to new technologies, making smarter decisions, and strengthening their ability to grow and secure critical capital.
It's practical advice that cuts through complexity for leaders who need to know what's coming next. Subscribe at truist.com/beyond podcast. That's TRUIST.com/beyond podcast.
Copyright Truist Securities Incorporated. Member FINRA and SIPC.
Hey everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
I'm dying to know.
All right.
Do you have the solution?
Yeah. Well, it's a long run. We already talked about the solution.
Okay.
But you organize.
Yeah.
You get together and you say, hey, we are this group of people. We have a history. We have a past. Because Dr. Isabella Finesca, points out, quite rightly, I think, the easiest way to dehumanize people is to strip them of any context, any history.
Yeah.
And that means that the Roma are ripe for exploitation when it comes to that, dehumanization. Because they really don't have a history. Like, historians think maybe that they came out of northern India a thousand years ago.
Yeah.
They probably did. But it's not entirely confirmed, right?
Can I read this quote by her?
Yeah.
It's like the saddest thing I've ever read, and this is by Finesca. The Roma have no heroes, no myths of origin, of a great liberation, of the founding of a nation, of a promised land. And that's like pretty much puts the cherry on top.
Right.
It's
so
just sad.
Since pretty much every other culture on the planet does have that,
yeah,
it makes them appear shiftless, aimless,
yeah,
lazy.
Yeah.
Like so lazy they don't even care about their own culture. So how can anybody else care about their culture? Well, finally some Roma got together in the 70s and said, we're going to start being Romani activists. Like we're misunderstood. And I think from this interaction inside and out and the separation between us and the rest of the world,
yeah,
this misunderstanding is creating some self-fulfilling prophecies.
Yeah, yeah.
Self-perpetuating myths. And they got together and said, okay, we come from northern India. India, we want you to sponsor like a Congress.
Yeah, they did.
And they did in 1971.
Yeah, it was very awesome. The first World Romani Congress. And there were Romani from 14 different countries. And they picked out a flag and an anthem, which just sounds so weird that you would have to do that in the 70s.
I'll bet it's exuberant.
I'm sure it was. And
no, the anthem.
Oh. You think?
I'll bet the Gypsy Kings can play it really well.
It probably sounds like Beirut. You know that band? He sounds like
Gypsy-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Romani-ish.
Yeah. So it was, it was a big unifying moment and a rare unifying moment for the people in 1971. And because they had the sponsorship of India, though, the UN had to, I say had to, maybe they really wanted to, officially recognize them as an ethnic group in 1978. So that was a victory 7 years later.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Sure. Well, what's sad though, is it's, I guess one of the more prevalent proposals for getting Romani like a leg up is for them to assimilate culturally.
Yeah.
Apparently nothing's ever really going to change.
Yeah.
Until they are willing to assimilate culturally. And that's kind of like the crux of the matter. The problem is if you start to assimilate, you lose your culture.
Yeah, which is happening somewhat. They're already having a hard time holding on to their dialect because of its fractured nature with the different tribes. But like you said, assimilation, it's a bit of a sad thing. You let go of your own past that's already checkered. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Would that mean the end of the Romani?
Well, I mean, you can also make the case that, the Chinese have been, middlemen minority. Jewish people have been middlemen minority in different places.
Yeah.
Any group that comes to a new place and settles and then just kind of maintains its ethnic identity for a while is a middleman minority.
Yeah.
And you can look around and say, well, Chinese have assimilated into the U.S. pretty fully.
Yeah.
But you still understand there's such a thing as, Chinese ethnic and cultural identity.
Yeah,
it's
there's
not
still
dead.
a Chinatown in most major cities.
Right. So, I don't know, maybe there'll be like Romani Town in San Francisco 100 years from now, and
San Francisco.
the president will be Romani.
Yeah.
You
never know.
Who knows? But it won't happen. Apparently, I guess that's the bet, or that's the deal that's on the table. Yeah, we'll take care of you, but you have to stop being outside fringe dwelling weirdos.
Well, and until they're like this whole Paris deal, the reason why they're shuffling them out of this one district is because they were shuffled out of another district.
And it happens on a macro scale as well.
Yeah.
Like not just within the city, within Europe as a whole.
Well, and I can't remember the lady's name, but one of the French, bureaucrats said, we just need to get them back to where they came from.
No.
Back to Romania.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's like, really? He just said that?
Yeah.
It's 2014,
Yeah. Well, plus also that shows a little bit of historic illiteracy.
Yeah.
But do you want to talk about other terms for them, depending on where they are?
Yeah, sure.
So in the UK, they call them travelers.
What else?
In Rome and Spain, they're called gitanos. So the gypsy kings are technically gitanos.
Okay.
Let's see. In Germany and Italy, they call them Cinto.
I can't believe I thought the Gypsy Kings were from Mexico. That's pretty ignorant.
No, I think most people thought that who aren't like into world music, but have heard of the Gypsy Kings or whatever.
Right.
It's, they play huge guitars.
Okay, thank you.
I'm with you on that one.
I just didn't want to be the white guy. It's like, they're Mexican, right?
I don't think it's like that.
Okay.
So that's the Gypsy Kings. You got anything else on gypsies, on Roma? Man, I'm sorry.
I know, but the title of the article is How Gypsies Work. And I think it'll attract listeners because I don't think a lot of people understand what the heck it is. I didn't.
What, Roma?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it makes you think like, well, they're from Rome.
Yeah. No.
Romania.
No.
I wonder if that means that Romania is from Rome. This is one of the more confusing episodes we've done.
As it turns out.
If you want to learn more about the Roma or Romani, don't type those words. Type gypsy into the search bar at howstuffworks.com and it will bring up this article. And I said search bar, which means it's time for listener mail.
This is a question posed to us from Josh Roberts of Washington, D.C. Hey guys, I'm a big fan. I found the podcast last year and downloaded a few episodes. But it caught my interest and ended up going back to the beginning, and I've listened to every episode on iTunes. Josh, I don't know if you know this, but we have a lot more episodes than that, my friend.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Are you talking to Josh
Roberts.
Oh, gotcha.
Not Josh Clark. Yeah, we have a whole page now with all of our episodes on our website at stuffyoushouldknow.com. Archived.
Yeah. iTunes features the most recent 301 episodes.
Yeah.
And we have like 630 something episodes.
Yeah. So he may know that, but maybe not. Go back and listen to the old ones. They're pretty funny.
There's some good ones in there.
Yeah.
Not the real old ones, but
yeah.
After maybe 50, they really started to get good. I stopped talking so fast and like it's just a total jackass.
And we left the cave that we recorded in.
Yeah. The can.
Okay, so he's writing because he has an important question to ask. Imagine that time travel is real, and you can go to any time, place in all of history, and you could bring one thing with you. My question is, where would you go and what would you bring? I've been asking people this question since I was 16. Now I'm 42 years old, and I've had many interesting and some disturbing answers. About 25% are money-making ploys. like the old Back to the Future bringing the sports almanac. Many people talk about going back to Mozart or Beethoven's time bringing a recording device. And then, of course, other notable answers include shooting Hitler, stopping the murder of JFK or MLK. My favorite answer is going back to the late 1400s with a battleship and making sure the Europeans never reached the Americas.
Yeah.
So, we have to answer this now. My question to Josh Roberts is this something that, are you going to come back to present day time? Because, what good would it do to go record Beethoven if you're just stuck there with a recording of Beethoven?
Oh, yeah, there's a caveat.
So, if you can come back to present day time, I've thought about this.
I haven't had the benefit of thinking about it.
Just keep thinking. I think I might go back to the time of Jesus in biblical times, because I've well documented my constant struggle with my religious upbringing over the years.
Yeah? You're just going to go to the source and be like,
I'm going to
hey.
go to the source, and I'm taking a video camera with unlimited amounts of, recording space.
Okay.
Let's say.
So an SD card.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Okay.
And I can bring this back, and I think it would delight everyone. I think Christians would be delighted because you could have real footage of the Sermon on the Mount and these.
I think delighted might be understating the reaction you would get.
They would be over the moon about having original recordings of Jesus doing his thing.
Yeah, I would think so.
And I think it would also be helpful to just sort of sort out what the deal was. And say, you know what? Are these stories allegory? Did they really happen? Am I going to go back and see people walking on the water and come back and say, hey, you know what? It's all absolutely true, everyone. I think it would be like the greatest discovery, and religion has had such an impact on world history. So that's my boom. That's what I'm doing.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
Let's see.
I should have sent this to you ahead of time.
Yeah.
I feel bad for springing it on you.
Well, I'll just give a cursory one. I would go to probably some place that's kind of an exotic locale now.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
But like 60 years ago, when it was super exotic.
Uh-huh.
So I would say, you know what? I would go to like Polynesia or Cuba.
Yeah.
In 1920.
Okay.
And I realized they were nowhere near the same thing.
Okay.
But I would go to Cuba in 1920, and the thing I would take would be Yumi.
Interesting. So you just go for a vacation,
Basically,
essentially, in another time and place.
Forever vacation, yeah.
All right. See, I would recommend you go back even further to Cuba before there was anyone there with like a big gun, and then you own Cuba.
I don't want to own Cuba.
You just want to visit
and
it
like I like the
1920.
local flavor, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I like the local flavor that's like not been there's not like an Old Navy anywhere near this local flavor. It's like
Gotcha.
totally local flavor, but they also have, mojitos already.
Okay. So you would go get away from the things of man back in the day with your wife where they have alcohol served.
Yes.
That's a great answer.
Thanks.
I love it.
It was off the cuff.
I can just picture you and Yumi kicking it in 1920 in Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba. Yeah. I'd wear one of those shirts. I'd be one of those guys who wear Cuban shirts.
Yeah, what are those called? The
Cuban shirts.
No, there's another name. I can't remember.
I'm sure it's
Like
yeah.
the cruise wear.
Right.
Yeah.
But with two pockets and the
Yeah,
unnecessary seams and
There's
stuff.
a name somewhere. John Hodgman and Jesse Thorne are going. It's blah blah blah.
We can't hear you.
I don't know.
All right. Well, that was it for Romani. If you want to hang out with me and Chuck outside of this podcast, you can. You can find us on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook. You can just look up Stuff You Should Know, SYSK, Josh and Chuck, on your favorite web browser, and it'll bring up all that stuff. You can send us an email to stuffpodcast@discovery.com and hang out with us on our website, stuffyoushouldknow.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com.
Introducing the all-new Mazda CX-5, featuring more connection,
Hey Google, where's the nearest Pilates class?
safety that has your back, more discovery on the scenic routes, more passion in the details, and more control in changing weather. The all-new Mazda CX-5. More to move every side of you. See it in 5 films at mazdausa.com/5sides.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC. Sequences shortened and simulated.
You know, you could be adored by everyone and still completely ignored by your cat. Trust me, I know. But if you feed your cat Sheba, you can go from being ignored to truly adored in 12 days, guaranteed, or your money back. Sheba has a full menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, even a kitten's menu. It's so cute. So Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater. Like Sheba Puree, it's made with bone broth. They are chef-inspired flavors. It's got a smooth and creamy texture that cats love and contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. It's food that your cat's gonna love. To learn more, check out Sheba.com. That's SHEBA.com.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.